everybody, welcome back to Is It Cape Shit, your favorite Cape Shit review podcast. I'm your host, Simian Jimmy, joined as always by E-Rich McSoy.
I am here to reveal that I have been one of your alter ego, multiple personalities this entire time, Monkey.
What trauma from my childhood forced me to create E-Rich McSoy inside my brain? It must have been very traumatic.
I think Uncle Alex had something to do with it.
Oh, yeah, that could be. Very well could be. Well, and my third personality, of course, is a pretentious film critic who has a YouTube channel. That's right, Florian Himsel.
Yeah, I'm the guy who kills everyone. Wait, which one am I? Oh god.
No, you're the third personality. I'm the guy that kills everyone.
Yeah, and the Egyptian god of murder, it's the Kino Corner.
Oh, hey, yeah, I was checking Florian's scales, and it's just looking like I'm gonna have to kill him.
Way too much lolly porn. Wow. He's not pure. You gotta fix him.
What?
This talking crocodile says you gotta die. Sorry, Florian.
But I love the hippo. Oh no.
Now, let's just begin with the obvious religious undertones of the show. It's all about the Egyptian gods secretly being real, and they're like in Yu-Gi-Oh! They got the pharaoh living inside fucking Yugimoto's head, and he takes over and does whatever he wants, and then everybody just acts like nothing happened. Now, Kino Corner, you are a religion expert. You went to religious studies in college and all that jazz.
Yeah.
How do they possibly justify having every religion be true? Because in the Black Panther, they had their weird fucking Black Panther Africa religion. That was true. Now this one, the Egyptian gods are real. Thor and Loki
also,
are real.
Yeah, the Norse gods.
What's going on? How does the Bible explain this?
Zeus is going to be in Thor: Love and Thunder, so...
Oh, so Greek myth is going to be real too?
Yeah, Greek myth.
Yeah.
So how can we
real?
How can we explain this? I don't think we can, other than the Marvel Disney people just go, oh, wouldn't it be so cool if we just had like these big gods and have like a kaiju fight in the pyramids? And I think
was that not the coolest part of the show, though?
Oh yeah, I love watching big CGI fucking monsters fight.
What,
each
you
other.
didn't like Kong versus Godzilla?
I didn't care for it that much. Remember?
Wow, what a cuck.
Yeah.
Anytime something interesting happens, he does not care for it, man.
Oh, you should be the one to talk.
Here's the thing, because fuck you, Florian, first of all. Second of all, like, I am totally willing to get with giant kaiju battles in a fucking superhero thing, but I was bored when it happened in this show. Because I was so fucking confused. I was just like, why should I care about this? The fucking talking crocodile woman is deciding to fight the giant bird guy. Khonshu.
Deal. Yeah.
And I could not give less of a shit. I don't care.
We're getting ahead of ourselves, but I think that, I honestly just, I don't think that there's much of a plan in terms of this Marvel stuff of like, wow, guys, we have to make sure that all of our films and TV shows are theologically in line with each other. I just think they go, wow, wouldn't it be cool if we had Egyptian gods in this show? Wow, wouldn't it be cool if we had Norse gods in this?
Yeah, and I
think that's it.
The more the MCU expands and gets larger, much like our own universe, I think the less interested I'm becoming. Because it's getting
watered down.
Yeah, to me, one of the appeals of having a 20 movie series that takes place in the same universe would be the world building, and it seems like they just don't care about world building or consistency, and every director and writer, they do whatever they want for their movie, so it's very inconsistent, and I'm really starting to lose interest.
Well, and they also, in Doctor Strange, right, we're talking about demons and hell, so I guess the Christian version of hell is real, and how pissed
would you be if like Jesus showed up as an Avenger in a future movie?
Muhammad shows up, and
that would be good.
It's the Super Friends from South Park.
Yeah, but with Kevin Feige behind the wheel.
Yeah, so not funny. They would just be like doing Marvel quips.
Well, hey,
before making fucking
very briefly, before the three of us, that being me, Kino, and E-Rich, shit on this show that we did not care for, we once again need to return to the Florian Corner. Once again, he will be the outstanding opinion who will defend this show from us so gallantly. White Knight Florian, please take your corner.
Oh, I watched this show and I thought it was alright. I thought there was cool shit here, okay? It wasn't for me, but I don't know how all three of you can hate it so much, and I don't get your criticism. Like, you get bored with the Marvel Universe? Yeah, me too. That's why it's good that they made this show that is, like, basically not in it. This show is standalone, and yet we hear all this shit about how Marvel is getting stale when this is basically not even in the Marvel Universe. And yeah, there was stuff I could complain about. I didn't like the first episode at all. It took him forever to figure out what was going on.
What? Like, the first episode is like the best one.
We're completely at odds.
He was just constantly confused, but like, anyone watching would have figured out in the first 10 minutes that he's got some kind of alternate person controlling him. So why did it take him so long? Well, I guess we know why, because he literally was unable to see these things because of his conditions, but still, it felt really boring to me. But yeah, I mean, obviously all the coolest shit happens in it, a lot of cool shit happens in the first episode, but why did he have to be so oblivious to it? Did you guys enjoy how he was just like puzzled by everything all the time?
If I could try to articulate that, I think it might be the difference between a show being mysterious and a show being confusing. And in my opinion, mysterious is good. You want the audience to be in on the mystery, but confusing is bad because then everybody's baffled and you're not really engaged or enjoying the show. And I feel like this show, the first few episodes were mysterious. And then about halfway through, it just gets really confusing and baffling. Would you guys agree with that, or am I off base?
I wasn't really that confused. I was more just like bored, I guess. The first episode I thought was fun, and I was like, oh, okay, so I guess the other episodes will kind of keep up this energy. And then episode 2, 3, and 4, I think got me diagnosed with narcolepsy. Because
came down with a case of the E-Riches.
Yeah, because I swear it was so hard. I had to do it like in small I had to watch the show in small chunks, because after 20 minutes I would start to fall asleep watching it. And I mean, like, I'm trying to pay as much attention as I can. You know, everything else is off. I'm whatever. And it just was like, I was so fucking bored throughout the whole thing. Now, I did like episode 5, but I feel like I heard something from somebody on the internet, so, you know, who knows if it's real or not, but maybe you guys can verify this, that Moon Knight was initially supposed to be just a film and not a TV series, and it felt that way to me. Like, it should have been a movie that was maybe 2 hours or less and not a 5.5 hour long show, because I felt that bloat a lot.
It would not surprise me if that were true. I feel like this story they told in this show would much better work for a movie where you can build things up and then pay them off instantly, rather than having to wait week on week on week to like see how things develop or to see if anything comes of anything. Yeah. Really, to me, the supernatural elements of this just do not work at all, and it completely robs like the main idea of this, which is this guy has dissociative identity disorder, and he's got a couple alter like identities running around. The supernatural element completely robs that of any mystique or interest for the show. And it just becomes, he is a avatar of a god, and the god is going to tell him what to do.
Yeah, it's like they're doing two different concepts at the same time. Like, you can either do multiple personalities, or you can do, there's like an Egyptian god living in my head, Yu-Gi-Oh style. If you do both at the same time, then that's when it just gets baffling.
I also loved how when they went to like it's like they build up that he's going to go to this court of the Egyptian gods.
Yeah.
And like, this is like a really like big deal. And he walks in there and it's just a bunch of dudes.
Yeah, that was
like,
normal humans.
That was what I was just like, okay, you've lost me completely. I am supposed to take seriously that it's just a bunch of guys just sitting in like an ancient Egyptian pyramid.
I assume it's the gods are taking over human, avatars, but wouldn't it have been cooler if it was just all the giant Egyptian monsters?
Yeah, it would have been a lot cooler. Yes. It would have actually made you feel like, wow, this is like. It
would have been intimidating.
Yeah, it's not like oh wow, here's like this dude in a suit, like.
and then like Oscar Isaac starts like speaking in this like weird demonic voice. I'm like, come on, come the fuck on with this shit. Like, just any credibility just instantly gone.
Well, hey, before you shit all over Oscar Isaac, though, can we all admit? I mean, he gives a great performance. He's doing a little bit of a Tom Hardy Venom thing, where he's got like 3 different personalities coming out of the one actor, and I think he transitions very smoothly between them. I think he does all the voices very well, even if maybe his British accent.
Oi, mate, it's me, Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, I don't know. Do people actually talk like that, or is he like a British Muppet?
I think that I'm confused when he started talking first.
I think that part of the whole character is that it is kind of like an American putting on a British accent.
Oh, because it literally is.
Yeah, it literally is.
I didn't even think about it that way. Yeah,
they wrote themselves a reason as to why his accent doesn't sound great.
That is very funny and clever. So again, Oscar Isaac's performance, even when I thought it was bad, it turns out it was actually good on purpose. So
here's the thing: Oscar Isaac is doing a good job, but it's to nothing. Like, there's no reason for him to be doing all of this in this show where like it doesn't actually matter. Like what he's doing, it never comes in handy.
I mean, I find the performance entertaining, but it does not serve as a story that I was engaged with.
He should stay away from ancient Egyptian Marvel characters, because Apocalypse was not good for him when he was in that X-Men movie, and now Moon Knight is the other thing that he did.
Just to use that as a comparison, though, his performance as Apocalypse was genuinely bad. Like, I'd give that a 2 out of 10. But this, for being so similar in the same company and everything, this was a great performance. This is one of the better performances in any Marvel property I can think of, and that's just because Oscar Isaac is a god.
Well, but it's a one of the better Marvel performances, and probably one of the most watered down Marvel
narrative
stories. Narratives. Like, it honestly,
I wouldn't say one of the most. I'd say it's probably mid. You are overestimating a lot of the movies you have not seen.
Well, actually, can you give us a out of 10 rating for this Kino? Actually, can everyone?
Yeah, I gave it a 4 out of 10.
God, you stole my rating. That was what I was going to say. 4.
How is that compared to the average Marvel series?
Like low mid.
Yeah,
like, I mean, 5 out of 10 is what I consider like just your average, and so this is like a little bit below.
Yeah, the average one of these things is probably a 5 or a 6.
So this is below WandaVision and
yes, because I was bored.
I didn't watch WandaVision. We talked about this yesterday, Florian.
I could have watched it.
Oh, I could have watched it and wasted my time?
Have you seen Winter Soldier?
Why would I watch that?
Don't watch that one.
Oh, okay. Well, then you really just don't know how.
Oh, wow. Kino, you didn't watch the Cape Shit TV show?
No, dude, seriously. You don't get how bad these get, okay? This is actually really good for an MCU series. So, anyways, Mumke, what was
Wow, that means that I'm definitely going to give it like a 7 out of 10, because I'm going to watch stuff that's worse and go, wow, well, this stuff is worse. I guess this isn't so bad.
Well, you're saying that this is the worst of the MCU
I'm not saying that it's the worst. I'm saying it's below average.
I would say, in comparison, like if we're going to compare it to Marvel, and we're going to do it by the Marvel scale and not just TV shows in general, I'd give Moon Knight like a 6 out of 10, just because I wasn't as bored with it. I was just a little bit baffled, and I thought that it started off pretty good and then kind of derailed, and the characters developed like off screen, and I just didn't know what was going on. But maybe I just need to watch it again.
I felt like episode 1, 5, and 6 were part of the original movie script, and then like 2, 3, and 4, they were just there to sort of they're there to fill it out. And I think that what you could have done is the first, if it was a movie, right? Like, let's say a 2-hour movie, and this is just, shooting this out there. First 30 minutes is him discovering that he has this multiple personality and that he is, in fact, this Moon Knight, right? the next 30 minutes is the girl coming in and whatever, getting involved, and him sort of figuring that out, leading up, having the council and, that sort of thing. The next maybe 20-ish minutes is the whole on the river or, going to the field of reeds and then having the fight at the end. I felt like that could have been a Marvel movie just as a movie, with every single plot point told in a much more concise way. And so watching the show, I felt like I was watching this like hyper extended cut of a Marvel film. And I already think like Marvel movies are already too long. And so it's like, wow, a Marvel movie that's 3 hours longer than usual. I just get to watch it over the course of 5 or 6 weeks.
I mean, I feel like this is just incredibly unfair because it really isn't that similar to one of those Marvel movies. Like, there's a lot
it's
more
very
interesting
similar
shit going on than in like
how is there more interesting
Spider-Man
shit?
Or
how is there more interesting shit?
Well, there is like so much, really.
So
like,
much.
All the mythology is really interesting. The split personality stuff is actually, in my opinion,
just like in Venom?
cool.
And the mythology stuff, just like in Thor?
Yeah, so like more, because there's at least 2 things happening. You just compressing that all into one movie would certainly not work.
Putting more characters in does not mean it's a better movie, Florian. You should know this.
It's not more characters, it's more concepts.
Hey, let's talk about it. Kino is saying it's too long, and the fact that it is too long makes the abrupt ending even worse. They had so many minutes to fill. And then the ending is so rushed, and I'm like, did this even have a conclusion? Did we complete any arc? It seems like it just ended early, and they want you to wait for the next movie.
I actually have forgotten that too, but
yeah.
I am somehow still actually really looking forward to season 2 if there ever is one. So
I hope there's.
I guess I'm lukewarm on that one.
It was listed as a limited series or a like single season thing. We'll see if they decide.
So that's how they end it. That's the official end of the Moon Knight saga. Is just extremely rushed, and
let's put Ethan Hawke in a limo and then shoot him and then end it.
Like in the very last 5 seconds, we find out there's a 4th personality inside his body, and then it's over.
Look, guys, I'm just happy that Ethan Hawke got that bag. He's been just doing whatever he wants to do in indie movies and like just showing up here and there and other stuff. At least Marvel gave him some money to just, I don't know, sit there and mumble for most of this runtime.
Get a bunch of shattered glass and put it in his slippers and walk around. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, they don't even bring that back.
They do. His feet are bleeding in like the final scene in the psychiatrist office.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
What does that even mean? What is going on? Is this open to interpretation? Did I miss a line of dialogue? What the fuck is going on with this psychiatrist shit? Is it real or not?
Stuff that's like, it's in a dream, but it's like a shared dream state, which I guess if it's supposed to be
shared
in the MCU,
dream state? Somebody told me it was the afterlife, and that's even dumber.
It's definitely the afterlife.
It's semi-afterlife.
But why is Ethan Hawke the fucking psychiatrist in the afterlife?
And then they take him out and they're like, actually, this one is real. It just feels like they're trying to go like, wow, this is going to be a real mind fuck here.
If you had to like come up with a reason, it's probably like how Stevens or Mind or whatever like literalizes the afterlife.
He's in his
like,
mind
that's how
palace.
he tries to make sense of it. Yeah.
Guys, do you get? He's crazy, so he's in the psych ward.
Well, yeah,
he's crazy.
Obviously that's good, but I mean,
but the character hasn't been in the psych ward. That's like the thing is as far as we know.
Could have been.
Yeah, I really hate that trope though, where it's like, was the entire narrative of the film just imagined in a crazy guy's head?
No, it's specific.
That's what they want you to think when he wakes up in a fucking psych ward and they tell him it was all made up.
It's not true because you're watching fucking Marvel's Moon Knight. You know that it's gonna have like that he's the superhero. You know that it's not true, so you're just kind of waiting for it to end.
Yeah, it's like, why are they trying to bait us with this?
Yeah.
Well, I still enjoyed it, okay? It was still... Well, you liked it too. It was one of your favorite episodes, right, Kino?
I liked episode 5. I thought that, the psych ward stuff, yeah, it's a bit overdone, but it was a lot more fun than any of the other episodes. I like the them on the ship going through the sand and, and going through the memories, I actually thought, wow, they're actually, for the first time in this season, trying to characterize him or like build something up that's not just like him talking to himself.
Actually, I disagree with the criticism that this is just like a poor use of a trope of is it all real? Because it actually really paid off. Because he thinks like, is he crazy? Is he dead for sure? And then we actually find out what I think is a really satisfying conclusion, which is that in fact, despite all the magical bullshit, he actually is in fact crazy. And now he can learn to get along with himself, with his second personality. That was actually really good. So I feel like this was definitely the high point of the show, and I feel like it was all worth it.
Now, E-Rich, I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist, E-Rich. Do you think it's healthy to enable people with multiple personality syndrome to be friends with the other headmates, or should they try to just be one person?
I think that he should be given an entire house to himself. Each personality gets a different room in the house, differently made up, differently furnished, and they should all live in the house together. And there should be a TV show about it.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's your medical opinion.
that's my medical opinion as a real doctor.
Kino, were you going to say something?
No, I was going to say I agree. We need to actually encourage people with multiple personality disorders to get more personalities and collect them like Pokemon.
Collect every mental illness you can.
Yeah, you got to make your Twitter bio very long.
Well, yeah, I for one think all future Marvel heroes should have at least one mental illness. I mean, we started with Moon Knight. Why are we going to stop? Tony Stark had alcoholism. Captain America was a white man. That's basically an illness in my mind.
Thor has depression.
Yeah, I mean, what next? Yeah. There is a lesbian in Doctor Strange too.
We should it's, before they fight, like whatever the next big villain is, whoever the next big villain is going to be, we should have a montage scene of all of them taking their normal pills.
A montage of all the heroes going to therapy.
Yeah.
That is literally a comic run in DC. All the heroes going to therapy.
Was it good?
Yes, everything has been a comic. Okay, Jesus.
It'll be just like that Rick and Morty episode where he turns himself into a pickle.
Oh, I love that one.
Holy shit. What a good episode.
God, that was very funny, I gotta admit.
Funniest shit I ever seen. Can I get onto my comic book fan soapbox here for
let's do it, because we're 23 minutes in and I'm done.
Yeah,
so this is your mental illness, is that you're just really into these comics.
Yeah, so Moon Knight is a character that has had a bunch of different iterations of the character, because nobody really knows what the character is. So the supernatural angle of the whole thing is a very minor kind of like side aspect of it, and they really leaned into that in this version of the character, and it really bugged me because the Steven aspect of his personality is basically Bruce Wayne from Batman. He's super rich. He has tons of money to be Moon Knight and basically let the guy be a superhero. I wish the show had even touched vaguely on that. Khonshu should be something that is kind of in the background and you're not sure whether he's real or not. I would much rather lean into the dissociative identity disorder parts of the character rather than say, oh yeah, the supernatural stuff is totally real. It's not just a figment of his imagination in his head because he's literally insane. I think the show really fucked up by leaning so hard into that and playing it straight the entire time. They kind of doubt some of the stuff when you get into like episode 5 with the psych ward or whatever. But like more of the show should have been shit like that, where you're like, is this guy literally insane? No, he's almost never insane in this whole thing.
Yeah, in fact, he's like the most sane out of anybody there because he's seeing a world that nobody else sees that's actually there. Yeah, it would have been a lot more fun if Khonshu was kind of like his Frank and he was Donnie Darko.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That exact kind of thing. Yeah, nobody else thinks he's there. There's no like thing in reality telling him that this thing is true, but like, yeah, from the very beginning of this show, like monsters are chasing him. I think they play it a little bit with like the security cameras they can't see the things chasing him. But like pretty quickly, it's like, oh, this is totally real. Like even though it's supernatural, it's totally there. But yeah, that's a gripe that I had.
Well, does anybody else have any gripes or gropes or grapes? Because I have run out of opinions. I basically forgot that I even saw this show. Like
I forgot that I saw the show the second I finished watching it.
Yeah, it's like so many of these new Marvel shows and movies, I feel like they just slip out of my mind right after I see them.
Did everybody like May Callumway as the Scarlet Scarab at the end of the show? When the Egyptians were like, "Are you an Egyptian superhero?"
Oh, I did like that because it was a better version of Wonder Woman 1984. And I was like, wow, Marvel actually just did it better.
I didn't really think too much of it, but that line kind of made me go, that's like Disney going, Egyptians, guys, we want your money.
I was gonna say they tap the fucking box for donations.
Yeah, do you guys know anything about Egypt? I don't know if that's the market we want to be appealing to, especially like for Egyptian women. Have you guys watched like any tourism videos of Egypt? It's one of the biggest shitholes on the planet. I don't think those people
We were watching
even
that when you were over at my place.
Yeah, like do people in Egypt have time to go to the movies? It looks like they're busy just like whipping their camels and like tying up one of their legs so that they have to hop on 3 legs and shit.
Not to mention that it's like a police state, and
not to mention this show is on Disney Plus, which I don't know if Disney Plus is in Egypt. So it's like who's this for?
It's one of those. It's one of those markets that's kind of. It's like an authoritarian state that I guess maybe Disney wants to appeal to. You know, Egypt and China and whoever else wants to just have them heavily censor their stuff. You know, so maybe they're into that. It's like a kink for them.
I feel that the Egyptian mythology is as much everyone's as it is theirs. The same way that the Greek and the Norse mythology is just come together.
No, you don't get the Norse mythology. You do not deserve it.
Oh, I deserve the Norse mythology. Okay, I watched all of the Vikings. Yeah, that's right.
How many languages do you speak, Kino? Fuck.
Hey, I've seen way better Norse mythology than the Norsemen. Okay, you don't even know.
It should have been called the Norseman
of the Vikings.
It's just going to be a running joke is that it always devolves into a conversation about the Norsemen.
Well, it used to be. It used to be about the Batman, and now we're doing the Norseman or the Northman instead.
Fucking petty Kino Corner, bringing it up every time. Jesus, you didn't have good counter arguments then, but now you want to bring it back up. Okay.
I didn't have good counter arguments to you going, I hated it. Like,
yeah, well, then you didn't pay attention, did you?
No, you didn't pay attention. But you sure were paying attention to Moon Knight. You were paying attention to Moon Knight, and you gave me all the reasons why it's so different than all the other Marvel movies.
Yeah, which you haven't seen. You complain about shit you don't know about.
I haven't seen another Marvel movie. What did we just review yesterday? What was that? A Marvel movie?
Series? This is a series?
Who cares about Marvel series?
Well, obviously the movie's gonna be a little better than the series is.
Are you sure?
Why do they make them then?
Yeah,
Florian?
I mean,
really.
is El Camino better than Breaking Bad?
No.
Oh, you guys are killing me. I'm literally dying laughing over here. You guys got to stop.
Holy fuck.
I think I just got COVID laughing at Florian. Anyway,
Kino, real quick, Queen Kino, what would it take for you to watch another one of these things?
A gun to my head.
Well, that can be arranged.
What about like universal praise? Like everyone says it's amazing. Are you?
I won't fall for that shit again.
Yeah. The best thing you can do is like wait 3 or 4 months, and then I think people's true opinions start to come out.
Yeah, I won't fall for that shit again. The universal praise, because I swear I think Disney pays off. Well, not that I think, but I'm pretty aware that it's like all the people that you hear first, that see the stuff first, they're all shills. You know, they all come out and say, wow, this is the best thing ever. And then the critics, you know, a lot of papers, a lot of publications, they don't want to get on Disney's bad side. So they won't like give terrible reviews to Disney movies. So they'll be like, oh, if they don't like it that much, they'll give it maybe a 6 out of 10.
Oh, can we just skip the conspiracy bullshit? It's not true. Okay, it is just true. Not true because you're just gonna look at IMDb where users can rate the movies and you'll see that they're doing great. In fact, this show has a 7.5 out of 10 and therefore it's way better than you think it is. Okay.
Well, hey, Florian, about the conspiracy, there's a video I made like almost 2 years ago, I think, called Never Trust Critics. And there's some numerical data that might prove that the early critics for superhero movies literally are shills who get paid. So it's a 5-minute video if you want to watch it.
I've been told
I get it.
I've been told this by critics who work for publications that this happens. Yeah. This isn't a conspiracy. Everyone knows it.
I mean, Andy Signore talked all about it. Like he showed off the shit that people, like the reviewers and the critics, get shipped a gift box full of toys and shit, dude. Like, of course they're gonna give it a good review.
So popular? Why does it work out so well then?
Because you can literally get paid like for your career to give good reviews to cape shit movies.
No, here's the thing.
Plus, you get free toys.
What Florian's saying is that the general populace likes this stuff as well.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, the critics kind of eat stuff up and like it and whatever. And I think there's the, like, populist press or
but
enthusiast.
Where Florian's from, the general populace liked Hitler. That doesn't make him good, Erich.
And you had a Trump. Yeah. Are you happy about that one? You voted for him. What's
Trump's better than Biden, dude.
No.
Yeah. Look at the gas prices. That's all I care about, dude. Fucking gas under Trump, I got it for less than $1. Right now, it's over $4.
No, gas should be more expensive. Just stop driving cars everywhere.
Oh, I have stopped driving.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Then it worked.
Oh, then it worked. Then what worked?
Florian wants me to live in my pod and eat my bugs and never adventure out into the world. Watch my Marvel movies.
Corn pizza.
Well, I'll say this is that just because the masses like something, I mean that's not an argument for whether or not something is good.
It is actually.
No, that's not an argument for why it's good.
Well, guys, McDonald's sells way more meals than Chez Panisse, so I guess that McDonald's must be 1 billion times better than Chez Panisse. I guess that's just how it is.
Yeah, actually it is, okay? Because if you just don't take price into consideration. So yeah, obviously these crazy restaurants that no one has heard about must be better than a chain that supplies the entire world. Yeah, that's
I've got an interesting conundrum here. What is a critic's job? Are they supposed to give the public like an idea of what the thing is so that they know whether to consume it or not? So should they be more like enthusiast or more like what the average person wants to see? Or should they be like more discerning, more like, well, we've seen hundreds of these Marvel things now. It's not any different from anything else. You already know if you're going to like this. Like,
they should be more discerning. And how I see like a lot of these critics that where it's like their reviews are coming out before the movie comes out. Not like us where, we're the lowly peasants who have to wait for Disney to drip feed us their newest cape shit. But I see it as like they should be more discerning, having seen many films, know stuff about film theory. Now, a lot of them don't, but they should be able to say, hey, this is what the movie's like. This is what I think of it. And every critic should be different. And so people, should be able to find maybe a critic that they generally agree with. And so they can trust their taste and whether or not. And really that should come down to, should I spend my time and money on this movie? And that's really what a critic should be answering is, should I spend my time and or money on this movie? I think that's all a critic
with that being said, I think the four of us should let the audience know right now, is Moon Knight worth their time and money? Florian, go.
Well, damn, that's a hard one. I think probably. Okay, it's definitely like on the high end when it comes to MCU series, but you really gotta know if you like them or not by now. I mean, I guess you should probably watch WandaVision, maybe? There aren't any good ones, are there? Well,
I like Loki. Go watch Loki.
Yeah, but watch the movies. Watch the MCU movies, I guess, and then watch these.
I mean, not the Phase 4 movies. I'd say this was better than Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals.
I like Shang-Chi and Eternals.
More than this?
About the same.
Well, okay, that's all I need to know.
Wow. Incredible. Incredible.
So we all four agree, based on that statement, that this is not Kino. I don't want to talk about Moon Knight anymore, so we should wrap this up, boys. You have any final plugs or words?
Yeah, I just bought the Riddler mask, so expect me to go full autistic mode next week.
Oh, I can't wait.
Cool. All right, my final words. You can do much better than Moon Knight. Here's 3 shows you should watch instead of Moon Knight. Legion, which is on FX. Doom Patrol, which is on HBO Max. And then Peacemaker, which is on HBO Max as well.
Yeah, Peacemaker.
And you should watch Better Call Saul. I heard there's a really good review channel for Better Call Saul.
Yeah, I hear that they update every single episode and they have not missed a week.
And then don't, yeah.
Well, let's go record Better Call Saul.
All right, see you guys.
I didn't get a plug.
Yeah, Florian, go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, everyone should watch Invincible. I know it's not like live action or anything, but it's really good. And also,
The Boys. Go watch The Boys.
No, The Boys is good.
Yeah, they'll come back.
I even watched The Boys cartoon, and that was pretty good too.
Florian, I haven't watched the Invincible cartoon. I watched a couple episodes of it, but I have read that comic all the way through.
Oh, me too. It's great, isn't it?
Hey, all right.
Yeah. I'm getting a mental illness. Woo. Anyways, if you like a really hard game, play Ballfrog on Steam. Do it.